Our heroine is 32 years old this year. She is a typical need her daily life for eating and sleeping. After waking up, she dragged her swollen body and played games with her small nephew. Cigarettes, colas and snacks are standard equipments when she plays games. Her life is bleak and she can hardly see any hope. Her elderly parents are holding the snack bar at home, but she never helps. After her sister divorced, she took her son back to her family, because her degenerate life makes her sister extremely dissatisfied. In the middle of the night, she also has to go to the convenience store to buy snacks. When she passed a boxing gym on the street, she always stopped to watch. Although she does not fall in love and does not marry, she also has a favorite man. She never dares to confess, because she is used to this kind of life, such as eating and drinking. Copying it again today is tomorrow. She never thought about changing this. She continued to stay in bed as usual. Mom brought breakfast to her and told her to go to the dentist. The younger sister, very angry, gave her a good scolding. Finally, the conflicts intensified, and the sisters fought each other. Dad doesn't say anything. Mom almost has a heart attack. The remaining shame of the heroine is stimulated, angrily decide to go out and live alone. Before leaving, her mom gave her some pocket money and hoped she could change. She rented a house in the town to settle down. Without the source of the economy, she had to go to the supermarket she frequented as a cashier. On the first day of work, she met the harassment of the lewd uncle. He wandered around her like a fly, screaming and screaming. This makes the heroine very troubled and embarrassed to refuse. She just hid in the warehouse and met a mentally problematic aunt. Aunt used to be fired in this supermarket. Because of her poverty, she comes over every day to steal some expired food. The next day, the lewd uncle continued to harass her. She jerked her head and found that the male lead in the boxing gym was standing in front of her eyes. This man is what the heroine likes. Seeing that her sweetheart is close at hand, heroine heart beats faster. Her hands and feet are out of control. The male lead put a 100 yen coin into the donation box when he left. The heroine's heart is a blank, so she forgot to remind him. Lewd uncle said that this guy nicknamed Banana Man came here to buy only bananas. After work, the actress is holding a banana and standing at the door of the boxing gym, hesitating to go in. At this time, the hero took over the banana and recognized the heroine. The male lead invites the heroine to go on a date tomorrow. Happiness comes too suddenly, so the heroine is incoherent. The heroine deliberately put on sexy underwear for her first date. The next day they went to the zoo. The male lead is also an older youth, also not married and have children. He used to work at a gas station and is now unemployed. In fact, his life is also a failure, and practicing boxing is only his hobby. But the heroine is awkward, and the male lead is really uninterested. The whole date is abnormal, because two people who have hardly said anything. The heroine only asks him why he invited herself to a date. The actor told her honestly, "Because I think you won't refuse." The heroine suddenly feels that she is cheap. Maybe it's worth 100 yen. The heroine returned to the store at night, and the aunt who stole the food came again. And the store manager saw it and she just threw her out. The store manager repeatedly confessed that the heroine is not allowed to let the aunt come in. Even if you throw away or expire food, you can't give it to auntie. After the store manager left, the aunt returned. The heroine gave the food to her aunt, giving as much food as possible. The next day, the hero came to the store to buy bananas, but forgot to bring money. So he gave the ticket to the heroine 2 boxing matches. He left after he spoke and forgot to take the banana. In the evening, the heroine went to watch the boxing match on time. Lewd uncle also followed. The male lead amateur, so soon there's no power, only being beaten. After the game, the players hug each other and pat the shoulders to express respect and encouragement. The heroine waits for him outside the locker room. Then they went to eat together. The actor said that this was his last game, because he was at the age of retirement. The hero asks the lewd man whether he and the woman are in love, when the heroine goes to the bathroom. The lewd man deliberately said that she was pestering me every day, so we're here today. Well, you gave us 2 tickets. The male lead believed him, so he gave him a punch and left. After the heroine came back, she couldn't figure out the situation, and was dragged to the hotel by the lewd man. The lewd man forced to have sex with her. In this way, her first time became a painful and humiliating experience. The heroine lewd man called the police when he was asleep. And then she buried her pain in her heart. Lonely and silently returned to the home without temperature. When she went to the boxing hall again to find the male lead, the male lead has left. So she took part in the training of the boxing gym. The boxing training class boss advised her to be the game of losing weight loss women's group, because it's time to retire by the age of 32. She started basic training by coaching guide. Just the action looks awkward. At night, the drunken male lead ran into the supermarket. The store manager and the workers took her up and threw it into the garbage. It's raining hard outside at this point. The heroine holds an umbrella for him and then she brought him to home. She got his cold medicine ready to go to work. But the male lead is angry. You are in love with him. Why did you pick me up? She was also infected with a cold, and she felt better after she used the antipyretic sticker. What moved her was that the hero personally cooked the steak for her. It's just that his cooking is really not a compliment. Are you kidding me? Beef is bigger than a plate. The heroine used the strength of breastfeeding, and the chopsticks were broken. But she also couldn't tear off a piece of meat. She cried when she ate and ate. Then crying and laughing. She laughs because the man she likes is finally good to her. She cried because she couldn't eat the meat, disappointing his kindness. She sat there silently, crying and laughing. The hero wipes her tears and puts her in her arms. That night, the hormones they released together. In the days that followed, she continued to practice boxing every day. Although she has a poor foundation and a weak constitution, she has been working hard all the time. Only the male lead is still uncertain about her. Later, the male lead was with a woman who sold the tofu in the town. The heroine found him and asked him why he didn't go home. He told the woman that heroine is his sister and go away. Abandoned heroine standing in a daze. She felt herself just like 100 yen cheap items thrown away after use. Humiliation fills her chest, turned into a fist in angry power. She will seriously practice punching and pace no matter where she goes. Her speed and strength have improved a lot after persistent hard training. The body also becomes slim and the action is also more and more professional. She finally passed the trial after several months of training. The heroine wants to play a professional game but the coach told her it is not easy. One night, the manager is looking for the heroine's trouble and shame her without any scruples. Because the aunt steals the expired food. She has already been angry and hit him directly with her fist. After the heroine hit the store manager, she left quickly. She met the aunt again at the door. Aunt gave her a gift and said thank you. When she left, she gave her a good air kiss. After the heroine resigned, she has been concentrating on boxing. One day, Dad came to see the heroine. The father and the daughter came to the small restaurant to talk about their homes. The heroine needs to go home to help manage the business of the store because her mother was broken. Dad learns that her daughter is practicing boxing. So he said it's good to try when you are young. Dad's eyes are full of approval and encouragement. The heroine's face also showed a smile from the heart. Going back to the long-lost home. She will also teach nephew boxing in addition to helping to manage the small shop at home. And her own practice never falls. One day a man in a reflective vest walked in. It turned out to be the male lead. After the male lead recognized her, he ran so quickly like a thief. He didn't want the heroine to see his poor appearance. But he didn't run too far and he was physically weak. And the heroine's physical fitness is getting better and better. After catching up, the two sat on the bench and chatted. At this time, the male lead has been abandoned by the tofu woman. Just looking for a job to live. The heroine said that she had a match on the weekend and hoped he would watch it. And the male lead asked why. She said no, why, she just wanted he to come. The male lead asked her why she likes boxing. She have been thinking for a long time. I love that feeling of respecting each other's shoulders after the fight on the field. At this point, the workers called the male lead to work. He got up and left and threw out the lunchbox. Didn't say thank you and didn't say goodbye. The heroine has been watching his back, try to restrain her self-emotions. She condenses broken dignity into the power of endeavor, running against the wind and tirelessly. Let the sweat's blood. She cut off the messy long hair and become a heroic, sunny girl. Finally arrived at the weekend night. This is the first official game in her life. Other players choose to retire and she has just started fighting at age 32. She tried to adjust her breathing. A few months ago. She is still a soulless walking dead. There is no hope in life. At the moment, she's already on the battlefield of life. This time she's fighting for herself. The heroine is the first time, but on the other side is the Black Master who has won all the wins. Great difference in strength. The coach only hopes that the heroine will not be beaten badly. After the start of the game, the opponent's powerful attack quickly knocked the heroine down to the ground. She can only hold her head and be beaten. After the first round, her mouth oozes blood, and she gasps heavily. Opening of the second round, she is still being beaten without counterattack. Then a heavy punch knocked her down to the ground. Her nose is bleeding, her eyes are swollen. The coach asked her if she wanted to quit. And she's biting her teeth and saying, "I can't lose, I can't lose." After the third round starts, she still has to be passive. The situation is getting worse. As the coach said, don't underestimate the boxing match is not so easy. Especially for her players who have no experience in the field, sticking to it is victory. Just when she was beaten and unable to distinguish between the North and the South, the opponent suddenly revealed flaws. The heroine hit the opponent's face with a good left hook. The family and coaches in the audience have widened their eyes, because she wants to turn defeat into victory. But the opponent is too strong in giving back her a punch. One fell to the ground, instantly KO. Her soul seems to have been beaten out of the body. The scene of the unbearable look back to the present. The hero is right next to her, he shouted "come on" and cheered up. The people in the audience saw this, and they were very worried, secretly pray for her. She finally stood up with unyielding spirit and tenacious will. Although she lost the game, she defeated herself. She trembled, walked toward her opponent, embraced the opponent and gently pat her shoulder. She once said that she likes this feeling very much, because at this moment she can feel that she is alive. When she left the stage, the audience gave her a warm applause. After changing the clothes, she have been looking at herself in the mirror and she have been beaten into a pig's head. Walking through the stairs and passing the corner, she found that the male lead is waiting for her. They stood face to face. She burst into tears. She keeps saying that I want to win, even if I only have one time. The male lead took her hand up. Maybe the girl won her heart. Or maybe she just won her respect. The heroine is trying hard to break free, but his hands are very tight, and the streetlights follow the way home. They walk very slowly, silent all the way. 100 Yen's Love is the 2014 film by director Masaharu Take. The film tells the story of a lost girl's rebirth. As an alternative inspirational movie, it doesn't end well. But that's why it's so much more real, because the world has never been reasonable. It's not that you're miserable. Fate will let you go. It doesn't mean that you're working hard. Fate will surely visit you. What we are most afraid of in our lives is not failure. We are afraid that there is no impulse to win at all. Okay, that's the end of today's commentary. See you next time.